Welcome, welcome one and all to Coventry Sphinx on YouTube. The first match of the 2023-24 season is about to begin. It's Stourport Swifts versus Coventry Sphinx in the Emirates FA Cup Extra Preliminary Qualification Round. This is Liam Cook, your new commentator, with you throughout the entirety of the season. Let's take you through the team news as the match is just about to get underway, starting with Coventry Sphinx. Number 1, Keelan Fallows. Number 2, Joe Percy. 3, Jordan Hayward. 4, Luke Downs. Number 5, the captain, Lewis Guest. Number 6, Callum Whiteside. 7, Dylan Parker. 8, Jack Downs. Number 9, Matty Shipman. 10, Kyle Carey. And number 11, Max Johnson. On the bench for the Sphinx, number 20, Curtis Selly Haywood. Number 12, Sam Ellis. 14, Sam Jackson. Number 15, Dawid Peblinski. Number 16, Antonio Cristofaro. 17, Harvey Billing. And number 18, Callum Martin. And for Stourport Swifts, Coventry Sphinx already on the march. Down the left-hand side, Kyle Carey chasing that long ball from the back, but it's into the grateful grasp of the goalkeeper. So for Stourport today, number 1, Jamie Emery. Number 2, Nathan Binner. 3, Jim Hansen. 4, Ben Tilbury. Number 5, the captain, Ben Jevons. Number 6, Matt Johnson. 7, Drew Canavan. Number 8, Aaron Birch. 9, Luke Sidaway. Number 10, Lee Chilton. And number 11, Dan Recker. Sphinx kicking from right to left in the sky blue and white. Stourport in amber and black. Here's Fallows making his first competitive start for the Sphinx. Launched it downfield, Shipman having his arm felt. Falls to the feet of Hansen. Guest nods it back where it came from. Adjusted down. Intercepted by Jordan Hayward of Coventry Sphinx. Skipping past Binner. Across the penalty area, looking for Shipman. Johnson pulls the trigger and hits the defender towards a sensitive area of the body. But it's a crucial block made by Jim Hansen. And an early Coventry Sphinx corner coming from the right. 2 back for Sphinx, everyone else in and around that penalty area. Yes. Heads it wide, but it's a foul on the goalkeeper. And that'll be a free kick inside their own box to the Swifts. Sphinx and Sphinx, no strangers to each other many times in the past in the league. Of course, Sphinx moved over to the United Counties League 2 years ago. And the league rivalry ended with Stourport staying in the Midland Football League. And they're separated once again this year, with Coventry Sphinx going into the Northern Premier League Midlands Division 1 at step 4 of their title-winning campaign. Big step forward for the club in every aspect this year, including the media, I must say. Percy finds Guest wearing the armband in the absence of Callum Woodward today. Johnson drops back. Downs alongside Johnson, looking for the run of Hayward down the left-hand side. Lofted ball. Offside flag raised against Hayward. He just brought it down level with the penalty area on the left flank. Walsh's Menno looking pristine after the summer break. Of course, there was a horrendous flood at the home of Stourport Swifts a few years ago. It's devastated the clubhouse and the pitch. Thankfully, the club is now firmly back on its feet. And Fallows had to be quick on his feet there, racing out of the penalty area. Did he handle the ball outside of the box? Yes, he did. Free kick given on the edge of the penalty area. What will the punishment be for debutant Keelan Fallows? Fallows claiming the ball on the fringes of the penalty area. And a yellow card for the Sphinx, number 1. And a free kick opportunity for Stourport Swifts in the opening 5 minutes. Standing over it, Drew Canavan. and Lee Chilton. Chilton has handled responsibilities. It's Lee Chilton with the free kick. Towards the bottom corner and a brilliant goal! A fortuitous free kick, but no doubt about the score. Beautiful strike from Chilton, curling it low into the bottom corner. Fallow's attempt to claim cost Sphinx the free kick, but it was a well-drilled strike from the Swifts number 10, which puts the home side in front. Stourport Swifts 1, Coventry Sphinx 0. It's not the start that Sean Thomas and John Woodward were looking for. It's the start they've got, and now the Sphinx have got to deal with it. Guest. Space on the left-hand side for Woodward. Oh, it's just an inch in front of him. And out for a throw, just down line from the Swifts penalty area on the right side. Ball in the hands of Binner. Downs up for it. Nods it behind. And Whiteside in with a challenge preventing the run of Sidaway. But the throw quickly taken by Chilton. Nodded up by Whiteside. And a foul from the number 9 Sidaway into the back of Whiteside. Right in Sphinx's back door. It's a wet afternoon in Stourport on 7. The Swifts will be hoping that they'll be raining goals. They've already got one after 6 minutes through Lee Chilton. Oh, look at that diving header down there from the Swifts defender. Couldn't quite see who it was. I think it may have been Johnson. It was already on the ground by the time the ball got to his head. It's cleared as far as Guest. Johnson. Closed down by Sidaway. Out with Hayward, lunging from behind by Chilton. Solid and effective by the number 10. And now he's got space to utilise down the right-hand side. Guest covering him off. Hayward launching towards him from behind. Into the area it goes. Loops into the hands of the new Sphinx number 1, Keelan Fallows. No mistakes that time. Launched down the left to Carey. Good touch. Carey joined the Sphinx late last season. Hooks it in towards Shipman. Doesn't reach him. Nodded clear by Jevons. Chilton finds Sidaway. Slips away from Downs. Oh, looking for the through ball to Wrecker. Crucial intervention from Whiteside to get it clear. That's deep into Swift's territory. The two number 7s going head-to-head there. Parker bulldozing Canavan to the ground. Just in front of the Swift technical area. There's a new rule for coaches this season. With only one member of the coaching staff able to stand at one time in the technical area. Well, both sides are ignoring that. Well, managers will tell you that rules are meant to be broken. Jevons' delivery to the edge of the penalty area. Guest covering off the Swifts attacker. A low ball into the penalty area by Matt Johnson. It's gathered well by Fallows. Looking, bouncing in there was Wrecker. Callum Whiteside. A few defensive worries for Coventry Sphinx on the injury front. Whiteside looking to loop it over the back line. Shipman in a battle of strength with Jevons, and he's won that battle. Parker. Johnson not afraid of a long-range spectacular. Tried to dink it through for Shipman, who was met by Jim Hansen. Hansen plays it safe and plays it out on the far side. Level with the penalty area, throw in to come for the Sphinx. Big Throw taken by Percy. Carey spins away from his opposition. Luke Downs. And Johnson let it run, hoping that Percy would be ready for it. He wasn't. And out of play, virtually the same position, but this time it's a Swifts throw. Ten minutes gone here at Walsh's Meadow. Emirates FA Cup action here in the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. Stourport Swifts 1, Coventry Sphinx 0. Free kick from Chilton is the difference between the two sides at the moment. Downs hooks it into the area, high for Shipman. Beats Jevons to the punch. Now called up by Hansen. Johnson. It's with Percy. Muscled into touch with a Sphinx throw will follow. Downs flicks it on from behind. Matty Shipman looking for the effort. Quickly closed down by the Swifts number 7, Drew Canavan. Downs looking to keep Sphinx on the front foot and finds Percy. Percy's delivery. The right back Binner gets it away with the head. Now Chilton, the goal scorer. Thumps it upfield. And Fallows judges that one perfectly with Sidaway ready to capitalise on any sort of mistake. Fallows was not going to abide. Downs. Shipman to flick it on for Carey. Binner first to the seconds. Pushing the back by Shipman on Chilton. It took him off his foot there, allowing Whiteside to claim the attempted pass. Shipman's out of position, needs to get up. Here's Jordan Hayward. Shipman. Handball claims against the number 8, Birch. Referee says no, hit him in the chest. Wrecker. Aimless ball towards the Sphinx penalty area. I think he was hoping that Sidaway was making the run. That to Luke Downs. Max Johnson. It's with Hayward. Space to race into if he can back past Chelton. Kyle Carey. In a race with Canavan. Slips, slides in on Johnson. But with a bit of help from Birch, Matt Johnson comes away with it. Wrecker down the left. Stabbed in by Percy. The second time asking, he picks it up. Johnson looking to slip it through for Matty Shipman, but interception from Tilbury on this occasion. Through the centre circle he goes. Chilton, space on the right, goes for goal, connects with the shoulder, I believe, of Guest. Binner with the cross, picks up with the far post by, I think it was Reku trying to put it back in, despite the best intentions of Percy. He offered away on that far side. Coventry Sphinx have a throw in to defend. Sphinx knocking on the door, looking to extend the advantage. Swifts, I should say. Just control from Wrecker from Hansen's throw. Back to Dan Wrecker. Just a strike for Canavan. On the clear for Sphinx. Chilton sizing up the opportunity again. He's got Tilbury with him. Under hit to Ben Tilbury, and now Carl Carey trying to put it through his legs. Tilbury got enough on it to stop it. Aaron Birch. Chilton wants it down line, but the path is covered. Or is it? Chilton has received it. Canavan, first time delivery to Sidaway. Guessed in with a challenge. Johnson blocked by Chilton. And again, Johnson gets the claim. This time it's gone all the way through. Shipman tried to get his head on that, but it's played safely back with Emery. Both goalkeepers making their debuts for their respective clubs today. Emery, a new signing this season for Stourport. Slide by Percy. Blocks the cross from Wrecker. Max Johnson to Dylan Parker, one of the stars of pre-season. Filling the boots of Caddy Stewart. Sphinx top scorer heading to Leamington for this season. Downs rolling forward. Hayward. Carey wants it played through. Hayward obliges. Now Carey holding off Tilbury. Looking for a crossfield ball. It's gone crossfield, but it's picked up by Wrecker with the overlap being made by Matt Johnson. Challenging from the side by Percy. A bit too much physicality for the man in black's liking in the midfield. Free kick to the home side. Football is back all across the country today, and it's not just the FA Cup. The EFL teams are back in action. The Sky Blues won't be playing until tomorrow. Oh, that's a meaty challenge on Matty Shipman by Hansen. Shipman goes down in a heap, and the physio is called over. The card is coming out for the Stourport number 3. Guest making his feelings abundantly clear. Referee pulls out the card, and it is yellow for Hansen. "15 minutes gone, 1-0 to Stourport. Delay at the moment as Matty Shipman receiving some treatment. I'll take you through what's going on in the Championship if we can. Plymouth lead Huddersfield by 1-0. Stoke 1-0 up against Rotherham, and Watford took the lead against QPR in 40 seconds. That's a good way to start the season, isn't it? League One, Bolton 1-0 up at home to Lincoln. Exeter 2-0 up away at Wickham. There's actually been a game postponed in August, can you believe? Colchester versus Swindon off due to a waterlogged pitch. Johnson on the free kick. Guest is in there, and the goalkeeper had to leap up to bring that one down, and he did. Good hands-on show from Jamie Emery. Stourport have had all the chances so far. Sphinx unable to break down the Stourport back line. Max Johnson onto Aaron Birch. Johnson races to it, looking for the second, lofts it in. Chilton's there, unmanned. Oh, swing and a miss. Doesn't miss that time. It's headed off the line by Whiteside. Chilton looking to double up, with the Sphinx back line not allowing him to do so. This has been a brilliant start for Stourport Swifts, hoping to mount a serious title challenge this year after a 7th place finish in the MFL last term. Short one taken to Wrecker. And Luke Down sliding in to ensure that the seconds aren't retrieved. Now it's with Hayward darting towards the Swifts back line. Dylan Parker, Carey awaits in the area. Shipman's in there too. Plays it down line with Percy, trying to keep things calm on the level. Jack Downs to Luke Downs. Return to Jack Downs. Rolls over to Guest. Lewis Guest, the skipper. Saying, where are my options? Has to play it back to Callum Whiteside. Percy at right back. Long lofted ball, stumble from Tilbury, but no harm done. As it's Binner who gets it away as far as Kyle Carey. Trying to play it through a congested midfield, and that wasn't going to work. Canavan with the interception, and Chilton could be through again. Carey catches him up, halts his progress, but Chilton looking to play it through down the right-hand side for Sidaway, and Guest sends it into the crowd, and a free kick actually for a foul on Lewis Guest by Sidway. Sidway leaning into the Sphinx captain as he played the ball out. Guess he's going to dust himself off and take the kick himself. So he's just going to play it across the back line. Indeed he is. To Callum Whiteside. That could be a great ball for Parker. If Parker can get there in time, he's just a couple of yards behind it. And out for a goal kick. Today's show sponsored by Cahill Contractors. Thank you very much for your support this season. We'll be here every match, home and away, with live commentary, highlights and interviews from every single match. Apart from the Corn FA Trophy game, unfortunately, because I'm on holiday that week. Just mark that in your diaries. If you're going to go to one game this season, make it that one. Lena Moore saying good luck, Sphinx, have a great match. If you have got any comments on the coverage or any messages for the lads, let us know in the YouTube comment section. Shipman knocked it into the area, and the goalkeeper was coming for it. Hansen didn't get the call from Emery and launched it out for the corner. Could that miscommunication cost the home side? Corner whipped in from the right. Leaping up is Emery once more. Yeah, Guest and Shipman lurking menacingly behind him. Oh, thought about the quick throw to Binner. Thinks twice. And for Sidway. Guest up. Carrying from the side on Binner, but Ginner gets the way to Sidway. Guest in with a challenge. Johnson with the interception. Now across to Percy. He's got room to utilise. He's got Parker in front of him too. Quickly closed down by Recker. Parker had Hansen for company. Percy to Luke Downs. Back safely in the Sphinx back line with Whiteside. Quickly over to Max Johnson. Here's Guest. Hayward free on the left-hand side. Rolls it to his centre-back partner, Whiteside. Jack Downs. Air of frustration about the Sphinx play. The players know that they shouldn't be losing this match. Whiteside. Cautious approach. Plays a 1-2 with Percy. First time ball from Luke Downs back to Joe Percy. Going to play one along the right touchline, but it's gone over the white line and a throw in to Stourport Swifts. 22 minutes gone. Stourport Swifts lead by 1-0. A free kick by Lee Chilton after a handball from goalkeeper Keelan Fallows. The difference between the two sides at the moment. Tilbury thumps that one upfield onto the head of Hayward. Chest control by Carey on the halfway line, ducks away from Chilton. No challenge from Sidway. And has Guest onto it. Callum Whiteside to Luke Downs. Parker drops back, heavy first touch, takes it into the path of Birch. Matt Johnson tried to sift it through to Sidway, but quick thinking from Guest. Johnson caught in possession. That's Max Johnson for Sphinx, that is. Swing and a miss from Hayward after the attempted ball from Stourport. Did he get a touch on it? Yes, he did, according to the man in black. There's a ball from the left from Stourport Swifts. Hayward tried to clear on the volley. He feels didn't get a touch on it. That's the referee. It's not in agreement. And now Nathan Binner goes back underway, knocking on Sphinx's back door again. It's round to the head of Whiteside, and Tilbury prevents the counter by tapping it out on this near side. It's a throw to Lewis Guest. Joe Percy. Challenge in from behind. Dispossesses Johnson. But Guest has got it. And Jordan Hayward. Kyle Carey. We know he can hit them. Oh, and Parker had to stretch to get that. Got just enough on it to slow it down enough for Shipman. But dispossessed from behind by Johnson. Chilton. Back to Johnson, who made the overlap. Guest slides in on Sidway. And that's... Oh, jeez. It's lucky that that railing was there, otherwise there would have been a concussion in the crowd. Well, football match isn't so you'd need to wear a helmet, but maybe in this area of the park it would have been good. Guest. Now Kyle Carey on again, just looking for that ball to Shipman, but it was too near. Guest. Hayward onto the chest of Binner. Binner frustrated that he had to clear it, but he had no choice. To clear it, but he had no choice. Carey ducking and diving to get some room from Birch. Luke Downs looking for Jack Downs, but Tilbury gets his toe on that and gets some distance to himself from the goal. Binner bounces towards the head of Whiteside. Max Johnson now Guest thinks we're going to calm things down. Try again. Luke Downs. Kyle Carey avoids the challenge of Canavan, but Johnson wasn't expecting the ball. It's rolled passing to Hansen. Sends Sidway on a run. Whiteside collects it. Deep into Sphinx territory, now into the Stourport half of the field. Parker shields the ball from Wrecker and allows Percy to reacquaint himself with the ball. Possession now with Lewis Guest. Carey. Stourport know he's the danger man. Luke Downs through the middle to Johnson. Trip from Matt Johnson on Max Johnson there, and a free kick to Coventry Sphinx. Certainly in shooting range, I'd say about 7 yards out the penalty area. The Stourport wall lining up 4 men in it. Canavan, Bevans, Binner and Birch. Question is, will it be enough to keep that ball away from Emery's net? We've seen 1 goal from a free kick today. Can Sphinx make it 2 and level up the tie? Johnson and Carey standing over it. It's going to be Johnson. Oh, and we nearly had a second strike from a free kick. Agonisingly wide. It looked destined to be tucked into the bottom corner, just like Chilton's was. Johnson was saying that he thought that Emery got a touch on that one. But it is a goal kick. Gemma's just telling his lads, calm things down. We've got the lead, we don't want to lose it. Birch and Whiteside up for it. Whiteside gets his head on that. Canavan first to the punch and sending Chilton down the right. Shoulder to shoulder with Hayward, and Chilton spinning away from Hayward. Hayward not letting him past. Ball in from Binner, diving header by Guest onto the chest of Birch. Matt Johnson as the sun starts to shine down on Welsh's Meadow. Oh, that's the last of the rain. Oh, and Chilton on the volley. Didn't catch it as sweetly as he would have liked. Skews to the left of the goal. We will be going off air here on Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel for around 10 minutes at half time. We'll just be muting the microphone, so you won't need to log off and log back into the stream. Guest. Jack Downs receives it from Luke Downs. Oh, Kyle Carey tried to get a touch on the ball, but came down on the ankle. And Carey furious with the reactions of Sidway. There certainly was contact, and it looked like painful contact. And there's the yellow card for Kyle Carey. And Carey having to be pulled away from a potential confrontation with Drew Canavan. Well, calmer heads prevail, and we'll get back to the football. Half an hour gone here at Walsh's Meadow in the Emirates FA Cup Extra Preliminary Qualification Round. Stourport Swifts 1, Coventry Sphinx 0. Sphinx looking to avoid a third consecutive extra preliminary exit. Stourport, as we said earlier, have been knocked out in the extra preliminary round twice in the last 3 years. Neither side with a particularly good record, but one of them's got to go through. Throw in halfway into Coventry territory for Hansen. Record the target. Can he keep it in? The challenge from behind. Who got the final touch on that? It's going to be a throw-in. For a moment it was going to be either a corner or a goal kick, but the final touch has come off a Coventry man, and it will be Hansen with the throw right in the corner. Canavan, poorly placed ball, straight to the feet of Jack Downs. Thumped upfield, but not a back where it came from by Jevons. Headed up by Max Johnson. Game of head tennis going on now on the edge of the penalty area. Guest up for it. Brought down by Percy and volleyed into safety. Tilbury. Cushioned across to Binner. But that's that one get away from him, and it's placed off the leg of Binner and into touch from Max Johnson. Well played there from the Sphinx number 11. Kills it towards the penalty area, nodded away by Jevons as the rain starts to thunder down again. Tilbury away from Parker. Hansen collects on the left. Well, Chilton's having to tie his late at the moment, so momentarily Swifts are down to 10 men, but it's back in the game now. The action is on the left-hand side of the park. Sidway, now Chilton calling for it. Oh, lobs it to Canavan over the head of Johnson. Binner. Oh, it looked like it was going to drop to the feet of Recker. Just bounced across the number 11. Goal kick to the visitors. So I'll look through some of the current scores again. Sky Blues of Coventry City not in action today. They are the early kick-off tomorrow against Leicester. Blackburn have scored twice in quick succession to lead West Brom by 2-0. Hull City up against Norwich. Shipman, first time ball from Downs to Kyle Carey. Muscled off the ball by Canavan. Sidway runs into Percy. Swipes at it. And Carey with a little trip on Dan Recker. And Carey has got to be careful. He's already on a yellow card. Carey has to keep his head here. Watford now 2-0 up at home to QPR. Tilbury through the centre circle. Down the centre of the park it goes, diving header by Whiteside. Collected by Carey, now Jack Downs. Percy. Jack Downs, back to Whiteside. There's space on the left-hand side for Haywood, but they're going short with Guest. Guest, now Haywood calling for it. Jordan Haywood chests it down. Will he get to the ball first? Yes, he will. But allows Johnson to take over. Parker, Haywood. Down line to Guest. Downs couldn't get to it. He was a little too late. Canavan back on the ball. Birch to Lee Chilton. Probably been the man of the match so far. Acres of space for Hansen on the left. Hansen halts his run. Into the area it goes. Chilton squares it for Sidway, but it doesn't reach him thanks to the intervention of Whiteside. Corner kick to Stourport. The step 5 side leading the step 4 team Coventry Sphinx by 2-0 in the FA Cup. Really some work to do now for the away side. Guest, Cannon Whiteside, a bit more urgency on show now. Whiteside down the centre. Jack down to Kyle Carey. He's been urged to shoot by the supporters. No room to get it away. And has to play it across to Hayward. Down line to Carey. Rolls it to Jack Downs. Tilbury gets a toe in, gets it away from him. Sidway. A sea of sky blue and white, but it was a backtrack to Chilton. I think Chilton was just trying to get the ball away from his backyard. Thumps it into the penalty area, no one home but Fallows. Max Johnson. Now with Joe Percy. Johnson down the centre and Parker dispossessed from behind by Tilbury. Aimless ball through the middle by Whiteside. Sphinx have got to get their focus back. Canavan lunging from behind by Hayward. I don't think he got a bit of the ball, but the referee says no foul. Stourport back onto it. Lofted ball to the left-hand side towards Recker, but cut out by Max Johnson. Johnson again receives from Percy. Kyle Carey drilled across to Lewis Guest. Hayward. Now with Guest. Luke Downs in holding midfield. Parker the target, but again, they can't seem to feed the ball to the front three. Stourport's clearance doesn't get them out of danger though. Carey. And Hayward just a little behind it. Goal kick to Stourport with just over 7 minutes until half time. Guest up for the goal kick and gets his bonce on that one. Shipman looking to bring it down. Challenge on hard by Jevons. Takes it away from him, but Kyle Carey first to the second from Birch. Safely back into Sphinx territory with Percy. The ball again drops before it can find the striker, Hansen. Matt Johnson over to Canavan. Binner free on the right. Through ball for Chilton, and Chilton will get there first. Followed by Hayward. He's got Binner in support. Lee Chilton holds possession well. Square to Drew Canavan. Swing and a miss by Johnson. Can Percy shepherd it into touch? No, he can't. Recker got there ahead of him, but he's dispossessed him and races clear. Parker back here onto Shipman. Tilbury races across him and plays it back to Emery. Binner jockeying for position with Johnson. Curls it down the right flank, but no one home except for Guest. Sphinx with cautious attacking play. That should have been a simple ball for Johnson to receive, but it was poked away from him by Canavan, the Swifts veteran. And Guest catching the heel of Sidway as he controlled it away from the Sphinx captain, and that will be a free kick towards the right-hand touchline. Good opportunity to whip it into the penalty area in the closing stages of the first half. The third goal would really put the cat amongst the pigeons for the second half. Chilton. And over a kick attempt, puts it to the pass for Birch. Brilliant save by Farlows with the leg. Birch looking for a second of the afternoon for himself and a third for Swifts. But Farlows getting down low and blocking with his left leg. Chilton battling for it on the touchline, and oh, well, it's a good job that that was flagged and the game was stopped as Chilton put it in. Sidway nodded it into the ground, then it bounced over the crossbar from about 2 yards out. Well, that one may be the first entry into the 2024 blooper reel. Although they'll probably say, oh, it was offside, I knew it wasn't going in. Carey. Now with Max Johnson. Every time Sphinx seem to get in the final third, Stourport are all over them like a rash. Guest. Now looking for the long ball into Johnson, chested down by Tilbury. Binner. Chilton. Guest lunges in for the challenge, but oversteps the ball. Sidway into Wrecker. They're diving onto it first, is Fallows. Well, this first half has been all Stourport. Sphinx have had a good share of possession, but haven't been able to break down the Step 5 team. They haven't had I don't think they've had a shot on goal in the entire game. That could change with Parker. I think it was just a yard behind it. Remember, he races to it, slides on the ground to collect. Emery in no rush. Stourport more than happy with a 2-goal advantage at home in the FA Cup. They're going to get through to the preliminary stage, which will take place in a couple of weeks. And Shipman could be heading into the book here as he barges Jevons down from the side. Referee with just a quiet word to Shipman. So just left to the centre circle, it's Jevons who switches the play to Binner. Finds the right back in a bit of space. Binner's cross, crucial punch from Fallows. 2 Stourport attackers lurking menacingly behind him. Downs. Leaves Canavan for dust. But a brilliant slide in to prevent the ball from reaching Matty Shipman. Stourport's marking has been brilliant. Luke Downs. Travelling into the centre circle, now it's with Johnson. Johnson screaming for options. Now Luke Downs. Parker, there's space left for Haywood. Haywood picks it up. Haywood deflected cross. Emery can't prevent it from going out for a corner. Johnson takes responsibilities as Carey jockeys for position with Hansen in the centre of the park. It doesn't beat the first man at the near post, but it comes out to Dylan Parker, who takes aim, pinballs through, and Hansen clears. Downs couldn't bring it under control. Now Wrecker has the chance to counter. Chilton making the overlap. Chilton down the right, but it's got too many legs on it, and Haywood was trying to see it out, but that didn't have the legs on it either. Across to Downs, now Whiteside into the last minute of normal time. We'll say there'll be about 2 minutes of added time. We've had a couple of injuries in this first half. Haywood receives from Johnson. First time ball from Haywood, stopped in the slide by Jevons, slid away as far as Max Johnson. Sphinx have started to wake up now in the closing stages of this first half. Here's Jack Downs. Parker tricked on the edge of the area. Parker absolutely furious. He is incensed. He thinks it should have been a penalty. Well, the referee has stopped the game here. The ball's in the hands of Emery, and the referee is going straight to the book. Dylan Parker called over. He could be set for a sin bin. It's a yellow card for Dylan Parker. And still Parker arguing with the linesman. Well, he hasn't been sin-binned. Like we'll say on the field, but it is a yellow card for dissent. Well, back underway, Tilbury. The big number 4 launches up the right towards Birch. Hooked up to Hayward by Luke Downs. Johnson skips away from Birch into the path of Canavan. Strong chance from Drew Canavan, but fair. He's got run down the left-hand side by Chilton. And Guest has no choice but to poke it out for the corner. One more opportunity to make it free for Stourport before the break. Canavan for the first time delivery after receiving the corner. It was blocked by Johnson. Quick throw taken to Drew Canavan. Now Binner. Stern challenge in from Johnson, but the second's collected by Canavan. I'm going to scoop it over. Max Johnson, but the Sphinx come away with it. Kyle Carey, little trip on Carey, takes the ball away from him. Lunging from Hayward, couldn't take the ball away from Canavan. Nodded down by Hansen. But Recker couldn't get the shot away. Luke Downs averting potential disaster for Sphinx. And that ball sent into the trees by Hansen as Parker looked to get the ball in. Good counter from Coventry Sphinx. And there could yet be one more opportunity to half the deficit before half-time. A 2-1 scoreline's a lot better than a 2-0 at the break. It's Percy with ball in hand, launches it in towards Guest. Beaten mid-air by his opposite captain, Jevons, but Jack Downs brings it down. A tangle with the defender, and the referee gives the decision in favour of Stourport Swifts. I think it was a tangle with Jevons who has gone down hurt. Recker also hit the deck. Well, Ben Jevons, the skipper, battling for the ball with Jack Downs. And Downs seems to have caught the number 5. Well, most of the fans are heading back towards the clubhouse to A, get warm, and B, get something cold to drink and hot to eat. We'll be doing something similar at half time. We'll be going off air for around 10 minutes, so keep your browser on. Be ready for the restart at 4 o'clock. Jevons remains down, and Jack Downs making his apologies to the captain. Jevons held back to his feet. And we'll get the last few seconds of this first half played with a free kick from Emery. Emery with a free kick, and a first half to forget, I think we can call it, for Coventry Sphinx. Ends with the away side losing by 2-0. But what a first half it was for Stourport Swifts. The early free kick from Chilton, and Birch doubling the advantage for Stourport before the break. Work to do after the interval, but for now it's half-time at Welshers Meadow. Stourport Swifts 0, Coventry Sphinx 2. We're back for the second half here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. It's currently Stourport Swifts 2, Coventry Sphinx 0 in the Emirates FA Cup Extra Preliminary Qualification Round. No changes from what we can see at half-time, so it's as you were as the teams line up once more for the final 45 minutes. Referee counting the players and checking that we're good to go. Coventry Sphinx now going from left to right in front of the Coventry Sphinx camera. And we're underway. Let's see if Sean Thomas and John Woodward's side can prove a better match for Stourport in the second half. Foot down this near side for Coventry Sphinx throw, which Percy will take. Onto the head of Hansen, chest control by Sidaway. Birch on the volley. Towards the left-hand corner of the park, and Whiteside has no choice but to tap it out on this near side, preventing the potential cross. Hunter receives it back from Canavan, two long-standing servants of Stourport. Johnson, ball into the area, nodded away from Sidway by Luke Downs onto slide. Canavan keeps it alive. Birch gets the effort away, diving onto his fellows. Early signal of intent to win the first minute of the second half. Hayward down the left. Phillips. Sorry, Parker, I should say. Luke Downs strolling through the centre circle. His pass is blocked by Birch and Sidway. It's back with Whiteside, now Guest. So he seems to be a bit more direct in this second half. They were looking for Hayward down the left with Guest, but nodded away by Binner. And Sphinx prevent the counter down the right by putting it out for a throw. The next time we're on air here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel will be the opening match of the Northern Premier League Division 1 Midland season, as Coventry Sphinx host Quorn at the Sphinx Building Supplies Arena. Chilton charging down the right. Collected ahead of Hayward. Level with the penalty area. Down line. Binner. First time delivery. It's over. Burgess leaping above the rest is Downs. Heads it out as far as Canavan. In by Hansen. A crucial header by Whiteside. Skied by Matt Johnson. Plenty of power, but lacked the precision. Jack Downs. Whiteside. Trying to get a foothold in this match. Downs. Got past one, couldn't get past the second. It's Canavan who blocked his path and finds Sidway down the right. Covered up by Max Johnson. Sidway maintains possession on the fringes of the box. Chilton. Binner to Birch, takes the space on the left-hand side for Hansen. And Canavan will look for Hansen. It's behind the veteran, number 3, and he couldn't track back to get it. Sphinx were thrown on the halfway line. Can they utilise it to the fullest extent? Parker. Right side to Luke Downs. Well, the Sphinx fight-back start here. Guest. Returned rather enthusiastically by Johnson as Guest is bulldozed over by the Stourport number 9, Stanway. The bounce falls kindly from the throw for Shipman. Tries the low drive into the area. Tilbury prevents it and launches it down the left. Trying to cover the run. That being made by Johnson. Johnson receives it. Johnson slips it down the left-hand side, and a chance to be swatted by the number 1 Sidway. It's blocked then by Whiteside. Another ball's going to be needed. And Sphinx with the throw. Finds it coming off Sidway. Whiteside receives from Percy. Guest. Lewis Guest. Now with Kyle Carey. Outmanoeuvred by Canavan. A very rare thing to see. And Canavan's actually hurt his back. He's on the ground. The Sphinx have retrieved possession. Stourport on man down. Can Sphinx take advantage? It's Shipman ready to take aim with a late lunge in by Hansen. Takes the ball away from his feet. And Emery will throw it out. I don't know whether Canavan's pulled something in his back. But he's going to need some help here from the Stourport physio. 5 minutes gone in the second half, still 2-0 Stourport, but Sphinx look more in the action than he did before the break. We'll take you through some of the current scores now around the professional games. And the big one is Watford leading QPR by 4 goals to 0. A bad start to the season for Gareth Ainsworth's men. In the Women's World Cup, by the way, if you're interested, Switzerland lost 5-1 against Spain, and Japan beat Norway 3-1. In the Championship, Blackburn 2, West Brom 0, Bristol 0, Preston 0, Middlesbrough 0, Millwall 0, Norwich 1, Hull City 1, Plymouth 1, Huddersfield 1, Stoke 3, Rotherham 0, Swansea City 0, Birmingham City 1, of course having the backing from Tom Brady helps there. And as we said earlier, Watford 4, QPR 0. That's in the Championship. Canavan still looks a little bit sore. It's always the right-hand corner of his back that seems to be bothering him. And Sphinx have thrown the ball out for a goal kick, so that Emery can take it again. And we've thrown the ball out so his teammate could get some much-needed treatment. Emery, the goalkeeper, hasn't had an awful lot to do, it must be said, in the opening 50 minutes. Let's hope he'll be busier in the second half. Guest battling for position with Birch. It was Johnson who collected. Now Chilton. Head away on the edge of the area by Whiteside. Here's Jack Downs. A bit of space for Kyle Carey to utilise. Carey darting towards Hansen. Still going Kyle Carey. This is more like it. Carey down the right. Shields it into the corner with Hansen for company. And Hansen just has to tip it out for a throw right in the right-hand corner. Is Percy going to go for a long one here? He's drying the ball with his shirt. He's going for the Gunnarsson special. It's nodded away. Downs. Push on the back of Downs, and that's a pretty straightforward free kick for Recker. And I think Canavan's gone but down again, and yeah, he's going to have to go off. Stourport players merged into the bench that Canavan can't continue. And that's a real shame for the veteran. Johnson already lined up for the free kick. He doesn't want to wait. This is an FA Cup game. You already had 7 subs. And for some of those subs are Joe Hansen, Matt Hansen, Dan Mercado, Ben Collishaw, Jarrell Hilton, Jack Bailey, and goalkeeper Ryan Pratt. Obviously, we know there is going to be Canavan coming off. It's number 15 on the board. That is Dan McCardle. So Canavan's afternoon is over. Not the way he would have wanted to end the opening match of the season, I'm sure. But Stourport need 11 fit men on the field, and unfortunately Canavan can't be one of them. So again, that's a substitution for Stourport Swifts. Number 7, Drew Canavan, replaced by number 15, Dan McCardle. Well, now Stourport have made that substitution for the injury to Canavan. Sphinx will try and halve the deficit with Johnson's free kick. Guest was going for it, but prevented from reaching it by Jevons, launching in, and in virtually, well, not virtually, exactly the same position as the free kick was taken. Jack Downs with the foul on Wrecker, pushing in from behind. Virtually the same thing that happened to Luke Downs. Rather ironic foul for Sphinx to concede. Emery sees Binner in acres of space. Poor touch from Binner, allowed Hayward to try and reach in for the challenge, but he connected with the player, not the ball. And that'll be a free kick in front of the home technical area for the team in amber and black. Tilbury. Birch is up for it, beaten mid-air by Guess. There's not many men who can beat him in the air. Shipman with a curl across, but no one home except for Hansen. With Sidway. Hansen first time ball to Wrecker. Covered off by Percy and Downs. It's with Sidway now down the left-hand side. Dinks it up for Wrecker. Got his head on it, but only as far as Whiteside. More height and distance on that clearance. Chilton, Sidway. And now the chance to shoot for Wrecker. Diving down left. Stings the gloves. Fallows keeps it out. And Hayward shoulder to shoulder with Lee Chilton. And Chilton gets the throw-in out of it. Much to the pleasure of the Stourport fans behind the goal. Well, they're at the clubhouse end in this second half. Crossing towards Sidway. And it was Whiteside who got enough contact on the ball with his head to clear as far as Jack Downs. He has some space to run into, but can he use it? He's got Percy behind. That was looking for Carcao, connects with the chest of Johnson. And a Sphinx throw will follow deep into home territory. Now Luke Downs. Back to Percy, just kept it in with the heavy first touch. Momentarily gave it away to Wrecker. Charges down the attempted coach from Chilton out for a goal kick. Well, a couple of Sphinx players are warming up along the touchline. Well, you'd think, looking at the bench, the most likely players to come on would be Sam Ellis, Sam Jackson, or Antonio Cristofaro. Those are the more attacking players. Harvey Billing has played a little deeper during pre-season. Downs. Parker back to Downs, slides it across to the right-hand side. It's with Jack Downs. Now Shipman with the ball in the penalty area position. He hasn't found himself in very often today, and he's hasn't got it for long. Tilsbury jockeying and jiving with him, gets the ball back, but Downs in with a challenge on Wrecker. Squares for Carey, pirouettes away from Birch. A very well set up Stourport, keeping Sphinx out. Couldn't find the route past Chilton, who has been probably the man of the match today for Stourport Swifts. And Percy's trying to get it past Wrecker. Wrecker made the block. Luke Downs to Max Johnson in the centre circle. Left to Hayward. Lost that one-on-one battle with Binner, but does get the throw. Well, there will be highlights of today's match here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel for the first time. Make sure to subscribe for exclusive coverage. Downs swipes the ball away, looking for a strike connected with, I think that was the back of Jevons. And now Sidway. From end to end. Stourport look to seal it with a third goal. It's Sidway. Can he get the shot away? Lunge in by Guest. Good block on the slide. And Birch looking for a second crack at it. Max Johnson in to prevent that this time. Jack Downs. Here's Percy. Floated over the back line. Also floated over Shipman. Emery with the catch. Coming up to the hour mark in the Emirates FA Cup. Hansen slipped through for Birch. Cat on Whiteside, sliding it away. Looked in by Binner. Chilton was there and Whiteside had to get the touch. There were appeals for handball against Callum Whiteside. It has gone out for a corner. Corner now from the left. Matt Johnson. Birch is in there. Overhead kick. Stourport still pushing on. The over by Tilbury. Again, handball claims of the little flick from Johnson, from Hayward, I should say. Cleared. But Stourport looking to push on again, but a counter. Johnson down the left-hand side, blocked off by Percy, throw into Coventry Sphinx. Luke Downs. Crossfield ball onto the head of Chilton there. Now the referee is... Has the referee given a handball there against Johnson? He was saying that it hit his knee. Well, there are going to be 2 substitutions now for Coventry Sphinx. Max Johnson leaving the field, as is Luke Downs. And coming on, Sam Ellis. And I believe that's Antonio Cristofaro. No, it's Sam Jackson, so change to confirm for Coventry Sphinx. Max Johnson and Luke Downs off, Sam Ellis and Sam Jackson on. So both attacking changes. But for now, they'll have to defend. Everyone in and around that penalty area at the Sphinx end as Tilbury sends it into the danger zone. Whiteside nods it down. Ellis curls it to the right. Jackson trying to get there. Sorry, that was Parker trying to get there. But bounces in front of him on the halfway line. Throwing just shy of the halfway line for Hansen. Over Sidway. Guessing they put it into the reach of Wrecker. And the ball's loose and Whiteside sends it onto the roof of the stand here at Walsh's Meadow. If you couldn't hear the foot on the microphone. Hansen looks for Birch. And finds the number 8 down the line for Hansen again. Delivery from Jim Hansen. Whiteside again claims it in the air. Carey pushed down from behind by the substitute McArdle. Free kick to Coventry Sphinx from McArdle. Gave the foul away and Binham was racing away with the ball. Has the time wasting began? I think it has. Any team in the same situation would do the same. Carey. Little trip, but Whiteside collects the second, so no harm done. Here's Ellis. Percy. First time touch on by Jack Downs, looking for Sam Jackson. Hansen prevents it from reaching him, but Downs, that looked like a fair challenge from Jack Downs. Maybe a little physical for the referee's liking on Wrecker. Certainly got the ball, but the referee feeling he was a bit too physical in doing so. Jevons. Percy up for the header on the edge of the area. Jackson only as far as Hansen. Now Sidway. But a misplaced ball by Sidway, gives it to his opposite number 9, Matty Shipman, and that's one man you don't want to give the ball away to. Sitting down the left side of Carl Carey, and a crucial challenge from Tilbury. Maybe a goal-saving challenge. If Carey got through then, he would have been one-on-one with Emery, and that is a situation you don't want to find yourself in. Birch, a little push from behind by Guest. Ellis. He got past one man, but a bit of a body check on Sam Ellis. Free kick to Coventry Sphinx, about 10 yards into their own turf. And Guest wanted to get going, but the referee's not finished ticking off Binner. That ball nearly hit Binner in the back of the head. Guest had to stop it. And Guest has placed the ball, but now he's being told the plays it about 5 yards further back. The referee, I don't think he's going to be on the Christmas card list of too many of the Sphinx players. But even though there have been one or two odd decisions, you can't argue with the scoreline. Shipman trying to bring it down the right-hand side of the area now with Jackson. Sam Jackson, cross-charge down by Birch, Sphinx throw. It's similar to the game we saw against Lichfield in the last game of pre-season. Lichfield were the better team, and Sphinx really didn't look like scoring, but then they got one, and about 3 minutes later they equalised. It ended 2-2. Go to extra time today if it ended 2-2 as Ellis looking for a spectacular. It was put off by the slide of Matt Johnson and it was sent high and wide. And when I say high and wide, it ended up nearer to the corner flag. More changes coming for Stourport, but they'll have to wait. Emery, looking for Sidway. I don't think he got a touch on that ball, and it was easy pickings for Percy. Clears as far as McCardle, who nods it through a congested midfield area and safely back into the penalty area for Coventry Sphinx and Fallows. This is back underway with Percy. Joe Percy taken out after he got the ball away, but found Sam Ellis. Chieri, crossfield ball, finds Hayward beautifully. Dinner with his arms behind his back, trying to prevent a potential handball. Intersection in the penalty area, Sphinx briefly lost it, squared by Parker, and Jackson looking to get the shots away, but again, moving brick wall that is the Stourport back line keeps them out. Percy. Jack Downs on the ball. Back to Joe Percy. Quick passing on this near side of the field is what's needed. Jackson. He skipped past Hansen. Got a touch on the way through from the veteran number 3, but then took it out for the goal kick. There were muted appeals for a foul, but I think the referee has got that one right. Still the Stourport changes are yet to be made. Emery, Recker's there, and Recker jumps maybe a bit too soon, floated over his head, and now Percy trying his best to get us back underway. We're into the final quarter of this match. And Stourport lead by 2-0 against Coventry Sphinx. Ellis. To Jack Downs. Percy's ball in towards Shipman. Loaded up by Shipman. Puts the boot up into the sky, trying to bring it down, which was dangerous with Jevons so close. But the referee hasn't given a foul for a high boot. So we'll get it away, but now Hayward is on the comeback trail. Jordan Hayward in towards Shipman. Oh, the ball got loose, but the goalkeeper dives onto it. It's probably the most likely Sphinx have looked to scoring today. Emery And Whiteside nods it behind. Can Fallows get there? Yes, he can. Prevents the corner. 20 minutes to go at Walsh's Moor in the Emirates FA Cup. Extra Preliminary Qualification Round. Stourport Swifts 2, Coventry Sphinx 0. Remember, there will be highlights of today's match, probably coming online tomorrow. Carey darting past the defender via a deflection. Looked to slip it through for Jackson down the right-hand side, but underside Jackson brings it back for the home side. Percy plays that off Wrecker for a throw into Sphinx. Carey bundled over from the side by Birchley. To try and play it through, maybe for Shipman. Back into the midfield with Ellis. Jordan Hayward at left back. Down to Percy. And Carey caught in possession. But in the melee, it's found Sam Jackson on the right-hand side. Can Jackson get the delivery right? Good catch by Emery. Good balls into the air have been hard to come by for the visitors this afternoon. At the moment, the result looks to be getting away from Coventry Sphinx, but the substitutes can stake their claim for a starting berth next Saturday against Quorn at the Sphinx Building Supplies Arena. Wrecker shields well from Percy. That's with Hansen. McCarter curls it in. Whiteside gets his head on it. Birch tries to bring it down, but Percy collects. And there's a chance for Shipman to race down the right. Parker's in the middle waiting for him, but he's surrounded by Amber and Black. Now with Jackson. The shot cannons off Matt Johnson. Now the race between Chilton and Carey. Carey wins it. Retrieves possession and finds Ellis. Jordan Hayward. With Ellis. Carey thinks about hitting it. Does hit it. But it's blocked by Johnson. Now Stanway. He caught in possession. Well, he could have been, but he's got away with it and finds Chilton on the right. Had a fantastic first half. It was a little bit quieter after the break. But the hard work was done before the interval for Stourport Swifts. It's just been a case of managing this game and keeping the scoreline in their favour, and it remains as it was at the break. Johnson! Did it skin the head of Guest? Yes, it did. It was heading wide anyway, but Guest had to be sure. Jack down to barking orders towards Kyle Carey to Mark Johnson on the edge of the area. It's nodded up by Guest. Tilsbury gets there ahead of Carey. Return to sender, Chilton. Chilton in. Oh, I don't think Fallows was expecting it, and Birch momentarily got it out of the gloves of Fallows, but I'm sure that would have been classed as a foul if anything happened to the ball from there. Michael's going to make inroads in the Stourport end of the field, but McCardle prevents it. And the changes are on the way for Stourport Swifts. And the first of which sees Luke Sidway replaced by number 18, Jack Bailey. Sphinx also preparing a change. Oh, Cristofaro is not going to come on just yet. But he will be the next player to come on. Haywood. And Ellis tried to play it back to Haywood, but had too much power on the ball and takes it out for a throw in the same position for the home side. 15 minutes to go. Stourport still lead 2-0. Binner. Leaving up for his wide side. We'll be naming our Coventry Sphinx man of the match in around 5 minutes or so, so let us know who you think it should be in the YouTube comment section. Well, Sphinx got a free kick then and wanted to take it quickly, but the referee hasn't allowed it. Kyle Carey looking to get his side back in with a chance in this game. It's towards Guest. Jevons' header only as far as Jackson. Shipman in there, Guest. Heads it across the park rather than towards the net. And the clearance from Hansen took a little nick on the way through from Sam Jackson. Throw into Stourport, and here comes the change. It's Callum Whiteside leaving the field, and he'll be replaced by Antonio Cristofaro. So Sphinx, I would assume, are going to go free at the back. Well, it's the only course of action they could have taken now. They've got to go gung-ho. They've got to push everything forward. Barking instructions at his players. He wants to see better. Downs up for it from the throw. Jevons able to lob it clear with chance from behind by Matty Shipman. Pinball's back into the area. And Hansen has to clear on this near side for a throw in level with the box for Coventry Sphinx. Jackson's going to leave it for Percy. Everyone up for Sphinx. Everyone in the Stourport half of the field except for the Sphinx goalkeeper, Keelan Fallows. Percy's launch. I don't think he got the distance he wanted to on that one, but taken straight out in the same position by Johnson. So Percy will get another go. Goodison special in towards Guest. Bounces through. Guest to Shipman! Brilliant save from Emery. Point blank range. Emery as quick as a cat getting down to that. The best chance by a mile that Sphinx have had all afternoon. They'll get a corner from it, but they wanted so much more. And if not for an expert save from Emery, they would have got it. Cristofaro and Emery again does the duties, launches up, brings it down and dives onto it. Well, Stourport were hoping to push on and get that third goal, but it's Samuels with the interception, plays it back to Fallows. In the midfield to gain possession. That's with Cristofaro. Ellis. Antonio Cristofaro making his Coventry Sphinx debut. Ellis on the left. Now Carey. Ellis wants it back, but it got away from Kyle Carey. And now Tilsbury. It's past Percy. It's 2-on-2. Plays it across the Bailey. Sphinx players have got back, and the ball bounces across Wrecker. But it is collected by Chilton on the far side. Chilton looking for a route around Ellis. He's held back for now. And Ellis makes the challenge. Carey to Cristofaro. Now it's Sphinx on the front foot. Shipman. Jackson was yelling for it on the far side, but Shipman didn't have the space to get it away. Back with Emery. He's a target from that one. It's straight to the head of Haywood, but the seconds onto the chest of Birch. Now Chilton. Crossfield lob to Wrecker. Chest control. Can he keep it away from Downs? Yes, he can. It's with Hansen. 10 minutes to go. Lovely pirouette from Bailey on the edge of the area. Opens the door for Hansen. Couldn't find an amber shirt in the area, but it will be picked up by Chilton. Now Johnson. Birch lays it off. Deflection. Oh, maybe that deflection's the difference between a corner and a third goal for Stourport Swifts. It's been a much quieter end to the game for Stourport than it was at the start. But that could have been the clincher. It's a pushing and pulling in the penalty area. Downs trying to keep Bailey at bay. As Johnson prepares to whip it in. Headed by Guest, only as far as Chilton scoops it over the woodwork. And we're going to need another match ball. Quick break while we get the ball back. Fallows down the centre of the park. Downs leaps too early. It's on the head of Birch. Guess nods it back. Jevons. He'll be first for the second between Wrecker and Percy. Wrecker got there first, but it's Percy who comes away with it. So that's an aerial duel. Percy to Guest. Lewis Guest to Kyle Carey. That's a great ball into the area for Carey. Dylan Parker has back to goal, couldn't shoot. Can Jackson find the sky blue head? No, he can't. He finds the gut of Emery with the cross from the right. And Stourport assigned the field, they're nearly there. Right, it's now time to name our Coventry Sphinx man of the match. This is limited to Coventry Sphinx players. If it was for Stourport, I'd probably go for Lee Chilton, the number 10. But for Coventry Sphinx, we're going to give it to number 6, Callum Whiteside. Wrecker was clearly being held there by Percy, but the referee says no fouls. The ball bounces harmlessly past him to Fallows. Keelan Fallows rolling the ball away from his penalty area, trying to get some more distance on this clearance. There it goes. Carey waiting for it. Shipman diving in there too, but it's Birch who brings it to feet. Ellis smacks it off against him, and it's heading towards the crowd again. But it bounces off the railings. And just in front of the Coventry Sphinx camera, it's Percy who throws to Fallows. Route 1, that's the way to go. Downs up for it. It's not up by McCardle. Bit of shirt pulling going on there between McCardle and Downs. Guest lunges in, didn't get a piece of the ball, but Bailey had to jump over him. One ball aimed towards Shipman, but covered up by Tilsbury. Emery gets it away. Guest trying to judge it right and has done, keeps it away from Bailey. But intercepted by Birch. Stabbed on by Hansen only as far as Jack Downs. Jordan Hayward strolling forward. Sphinx needs something sharpish. They're going to cause a tense finale. Lovely 1-2 with Shipman. Jordan Hayward looking for an option. Parker's in there. Handball claims. As it connected with Jevons, referee says no. Second cross cleared. We'll have to consult the coverage on that one as Downs is tripped on the slide by Bailey, who's heading into the book. Maybe a bit of a soft yellow card for the Stourport number 18, but Jack Bailey is getting a yellow card. Well, Sphinx need that little sprinkle of magic to bring this game and their FA Cup dreams back to life. Is Kyle Carey the man to bring it? Four-man wall awaits. Can Carey test Emery? No. Over the woodwork. And it's kind of sums up a disappointing afternoon for Coventry Sphinx. Another change for Stourport Swifts. It's Aaron Birch leaving the field and coming on a player that I know quite well from my time at another club, Jarrell Hilton. Very pacey winger. It's not as if Stourport need another goal. But in fact, the substitution's been delayed. So for now, Birch will stay on. Have the board up, maybe a bit of time wasting from Stourport Swifts, but who could blame them? Downs. Percy rolls across to Carey, who's holding deep at the moment. Jordan Hayward. Christopher to Carey. Everyone stacked back for the Swifts. Hayward, first time ball back to Shipman. Carey drills it through and flicked off the checkdowns in the area, but it was a couple of yards behind it. And Emery, feigning that he was going to clear the ball quickly, decides not to. We have about 4 minutes to go, plus stoppages. Haven't been as many stoppages in the second half as there were the first. The only one really was that injury to Drew Canavan. Wrecker jumps over the challenge, and now with Bailey. Down line to Hansen. Goes it towards the edge of the penalty area. Birch up for it. Offside flag raised against Chilton. And the referee blows the whistle. So here comes the change now, and it is Aaron Birch leaving the field for Jarrell Hilton. Third change of the afternoon for Stourport. And that should be the last one. It's good to see Drew Canavan on the touchline there. He was replaced with a back injury early in the second half. Of course, wishing a speedy recovery. Shipman battling hard with Jevons, no foul given. McCardle away. Guess has got to be careful here with Hilton lurking menacingly behind him. Gets enough on the ball back to Fallows. A low drive away by Fallows to Jack Downs. Cristofaro out wide, playing as seems to be a left wing back. Percy lobs it up for Parker. And again, just too far behind it, and Parker launched it towards the far side of the field in frustration. And it has been a frustrating afternoon. If you're in blue, if you've been in amber and black, it's been a brilliant afternoon. Into the last 90 seconds. Again, there will be highlights of today's match available on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel tomorrow. Make sure to keep an eye on the Coventry Sphinx socials for that. Christopher has to race over to keep that ball in. Well, he didn't have to because it's a Sphinx throw anyway. The throw taken to Downs. Kyle Carey looking for Shipman. Beaten mid-air by Tillsbury. He's looked to nod it into the penalty area. Now Hilton. Binner upfield, only finds Lewis Guest. Hayward heads across into no man's land, and Johnson finds the ball and now finds Wrecker. Covered up by Percy. Chilton wants it. Percy makes the block. And Binner's gone down hurt. Made sure that the referee knew about it first before he did. delay as Binner went down. He's back on his feet now. And we are now into added time. I would say there'll be 2 minutes. 3 at a push. At the moment, it's not looking like a happy trip back on the coach home for Sphinx. Percy. And Cristofaro. Through ball for Hayward. Covered up by Johnson. Cristofaro to his right. Carey to his left. Finds Shipman. Side-footed onto Kyle Carey. Skips away from his challenger. Carey, low into the area, looking for Ellis. McArdle away to Hilton, who stumbles as he tries to turn away from Cristofaro, allowing the substitute to recoup. Guest. Hayward. There's no point keeping anyone back now for Sphinx. It's now or never. Hayward skips past his man, Binner. Hayward in. It was aimed towards Jack Downs, but I think it was Jevons who made the block. And Hilton and muscled by Cristofaro. Who knows what will happen if we can get one back here. It's Downs. Still Downs. And cleared off the line. Was it Jack Downs who got the shot away? It was Hansen who cleared it off the line anyway. Did look like he had the legs to cross. Hansen made doubly sure. Downs in. And again, it's Jevons who defends from the skies. On the volley, Ellis looking for it. But taken out by McArdle. And now a chance to make it safe. If Chilton can get to the crossfield ball, no, he can't. Well, Chilton frustrated with himself, but at the moment, Stourport have got the result in hand. Back on the way with Carey. If they're going to try and force a nervy finish, it has to be now. And it won't be as Emery gets the ball first. Emery's kick. Guess has to nod it out under pressure from Bailey. Coming up to the end of the 3rd minute of added time. Recker trying to juggle the ball away from Guest. And Guest trying to speed play up as well. He thought it was a Sphinx throw-in. Evidently not, as Guest now I think is going to go in the book. Now, who's being called over here? It's not Guest that's in trouble. It's oh no, it is Lewis Guest. He just walked away. And Guest is getting a yellow card, I believe. Here's a yellow card for Guest. I think that's about 4 yellow cards for the Sphinx in this game. So the throw of Stourport could well be the final action of the match. Oh, the free kick there as Hayward bundles over Chilton. Chilton plays it short. Referee checks the watch. And the referee blows the whistle. Sphinx's FA Cup dreams are over for this season. It's not the way that Sean Thomas and John Wood wanted to start the 23-24 campaign. But the Sphinx will now focus on the league next week with the visits of Quorn. The final score at Walsh's Meadow. Stourport Swifts 2, Coventry Sphinx 0. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Coventry Sphinx YouTube channel. We'll see you next time. for the visit of Quorn to the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena. Highlights will be available tomorrow afternoon. From everyone here at Coventry Sphinx, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.